What's good, fam? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, we're gonna talk about the burning question that people have been asking in the previous FNAF videos. And I thought it would be kind of obvious, but nah, we're gonna do it anyways. So here's the question. Could you piece up the animatronics with these two hands? Now, for this one, I'm going to allow the use of things in the buildings, because why not? They're there. But I'm gonna provide both a way to beat them with just your body and with stuff in the building. So we're gonna start off with FNAF 1. And let's start off with Freddy, because you know he's the big bad of the series, right? Now, with the body only, right? Here's the thing. I think this will work for every single animatronic. It's such a easy thing. Cause me personally, however, oh, my fault. There is some stuff I gotta get out the way. If you're like under 5'5", good luck. It could possibly work, but your chances of succeeding are very low if you're under 5'5". 5'5" and up, I feel you have a better chance. So like for me, I'm 6 foot, right? Not too tall, not too short. I'm 6 foot. I think I have a great chance. Even if they were like 7 feet tall, which I think they might be like 7 feet tall, but I'm gonna say all the animatronics are like 6'5". I don't know the heights of them to like directly compare, but I don't foresee them being taller than 7 feet. So we'll just go 6'5", right? The easiest thing to do is to just do a running drop kick on them. Cause think about it. Do you know how much force is behind a running drop kick? A punch, just a regular human punch, can exert, what was it, like over like 200 pounds of force? Bro, if you do a running drop kick, oh nah, bro, they gonna fucking fold, bro. There is no way they're going to withstand the amount of sheer power just coming from a drop kick alone. And even then, say if it was like, oh, like you can always just get the drop on them, right? So if you hit a drop kick for the back, then you're good. But the only problem with that is, since they're facing forward, they could get up. If you were to run and do a drop kick on them from the front and they land on their back, I don't believe that their animatronic, like the motors and stuff in them, can have. I don't believe they have the balance to flip themselves over and get back up. If you did it from the back and they landed on their face, I think they might have a chance of getting up. So I think the biggest goal here for all of the 4 animatronics in FNAF 1 is to get them on their back. Once you get them on their back, I don't believe they can get up after that. I think it's just too much for the animatronic shell to work like that. And like you gotta remember that, you know, it's they got hard metal parts and they got like the soft exterior. So like it shouldn't hurt too bad to like punch or kick them or nothing. Unless you hit like an exposed part, then that one would probably hurt. But because of the soft shell, I don't think punching, pushing, kicking, pulling, gripping, I don't think any of that's gonna hurt too bad. I think it would be fine. But yeah, a drop kick I think is the universal way. Another way is to, on the lower legs where the calf area is at, right where the underside of your knee is at. I think if you kick that, you can just make them fold backwards. That assumes if you have the drop on them, which, I mean, shoot, it's not like we're in a boxing ring, so you could probably loop around and just, you know, kick them right there in the back of the knee and they just gonna fold backwards. Because once they lose balance, they're done. They're not like a human where they can instinctively react, you know? They're still robotic animatronics. Even if they're being controlled by the souls of the children, you know, they're still robots. They're still clunky at the end of the day. So once you make them lose balance on one side, they're not going to be able to compensate. They can't compensate to that. So I think like those are the 2 universal things to do for fighting all the animatronics in FNAF 1. And honestly, I think you could probably use that tactic with all the animatronics. But we'll stick with FNAF 1 for now. We'll get to the others later. So now let's go to using the stuff in the actual building. So a lot of y'all were saying the TVs, and yes, the TVs in the office, the fan, the chair, all of that stuff, it's all game. Personally, I'd probably grab the small TVs and I'll probably like shot put it to them, right? Because if y'all don't know how like shot put works, you don't like throw it like a regular ball. You keep it on your neck and you just exert all the force out into the air. Instead of throwing it like a regular ball, you keep it to your neck and just push straight up out of your face. And that allows you to throw really heavy objects really hard and really far compared to throwing it like a baseball or something. So if you were to grab one of those little TVs and just put that shit right into their chest, that's another example of being able to knock them on their back. And even then, throw it at their legs. If they're running towards you, throw it at the leg. Kick them, trip them if you can. Because here's the thing, right? I'm not going to, if we're going to do all four and say that all four of them are going after you, you're done. No. You're not beating all four if all four were to fight you at the same time. I'm sorry, that's wraps, you're done. But if it's a 1v1 situation on every animatronic, that's where you can fight. The only one you could, like, it's like that is like FNAF 3, where like all of them come, because the other ones are like hallucinations and shit. That you can fight Springtrap. So again, we'll get to that later. But for FNAF 1, if they start running at you, let's say like Foxy starts beaming at you. If you trip, bro, and have him trip, get on his back, sit down, and just start pulling at his head. Just pop that boy head off. He ain't gonna do nothing. He can't do nothing. And honestly, you can probably rip his hook off of his hand. And then you can use that, start stabbing him, start pulling away at the little cords and tendons that control his body, even though, it's souls, but still, they still got batteries and stuff. Pull all that off, stab his eye, just stab all the parts, and take that in with you to the other fights. Bonnie is probably the only one I'm most worried about. Although this incarnation of Bonnie's not the main one that worries me, it's the withered Bonnie, but still, Bonnie is still Bonnie. That boy is a menace. That boy is too scary. For him, he obviously was shown in the OG FNAF 1 trailer, he was the one running. So clearly that boy got some speed on him, right? You could probably do the same thing with him, where you can like trip him as he runs. But say it's just a regular 1v1 type boxing, these animatronics, they do not got like reaction speed. They don't, what's the best way to explain this? They don't got the human intelligence in them. And remember, they're also kids, so they don't know much about fighting. So all you gotta do is just weave. Every time that bully tries to punch, weave, crack the arm. Because you grab the wrist and just push the elbow and break that arm, so it's out of service. That bully gotta go back to parts of service to get a new animatronic, a new endoskeleton. So weave, crack, weave. Go around behind them, maybe push them forward, maybe grip them and throw them to the floor. The biggest thing to do is throw them to the floor. And then, of course, now for the items in the shop, you can grab a chair, beat that bull while he... Ooh, I slammed my desk by accident. Beat that bull while he's down with the chairs in the main room. Because they're metal chairs. You can see they don't have the back on them. They're kind of like they're like bar stools. But they got the metal on the side. So, bop, bop, bop. Just keep smacking the fuck out of them. Quan Chi wins flawless victory. It's that easy. I'm telling you. I know the animatronics, they kind of got some feats in like in the books and in the game. Some of them got feats, but at the end of the day, we have the mindset of killing them. Like we're scarier than they are. They're only scary because they got immense power and they look scary. But we are the murderers, bro. We kill them. It's not that hard, bro. And I know, again, if you're under 5'5", I'm sorry. You might not have a chance. Like, I don't know, man. Like, maybe you could do the running drop kick because that's extra force with the run and, just the kick applied to it's a lot. But when it comes to, like, pure strength, I think you're donezo. Even if you had the adrenaline boost, if that shit was running through your system, I don't think you could do nothing. But if you're above 5'5", I think you have a very good chance. And to lastly go off with Chica, I think you just rip her jaw. Honestly, it's you get her down somehow, get the TV, throw it at her chest, knock her down, and just pop the jaw off. I don't think it's that hard. At least for the FNAF 1 animatronics. When you go to the other ones, it might be quite difficult, so let's go on to that. Yo, editing DJ back. I do this too frequently. I keep getting ideas while I'm editing the video. But before we get on to FNAF 2, we're going to continue on to FNAF 1, because I got a couple more ideas as to what you could do. So the little table covers, right? because obviously those are little table covers, it's not the actual table. I was thinking, what if you grabbed one of those and just used it to like as like a constraint of some sorts, like not tie it around the animatronics because they'd probably be strong enough to rip it off, but what if you just like wrapped it around it and you tried to make them trip or fall backwards with it? And like you could probably do like 2 at once, so you got 2 of them, throw one at the face, and while they're like too busy trying to take it off their face, you can run around and like wrap it around their legs, and if they try to step forward, you know, you can trip them down and make them land on their face. And even if they do land on their face, that's when you just go back and just start stomping on them motherfuckers. You start stomping their shit, you make them break. Because think about it, right? Because since they're so heavy, you know, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier in the video, since they're so heavy, when they land, they're bound to break something. So if you're gonna break one of their eyeballs or something, you know, you already lost connection to one of their cameras. They can only see out of one camera now. So once you break that shit out and you just start stomping on them, start kicking the fuck out of them, and this would be great if you had steel toe boots. You start breaking their shit, and they're not gonna do that. Once you make them lose their eyes, they're pretty much out of commission. Yeah, they can still swing your shit, but they ain't gonna know where you at. They ain't gonna know where you at. And if you're daring, you can just straight up rip out the eyeballs if you want, get their cameras out of the way. And again, since, you know, I was thinking of it more, if we're just gonna go with the lore of FNAF, if you turn on the camera, you can keep Freddy and Foxy still. So then you could fuck both of them up immediately, and then all you gotta do is fight Chica and Bonnie. And then with Bonnie, you could grab his guitar, beat the shit out of him with that, grab the chair, beat the shit out of Chica with that. And again, I said earlier, you could rip off Chica's jaw. If you just keep stomping it and breaking it, then she can't really bite you anymore. So if you could break their jaws, that's a really good thing, because then now they can't bite you, but then, you know, they still got their legs, they still got their arms. So yeah, it all comes down to breaking the ligaments, because moving parts in something that is meant to kill is not a great idea. That's why a lot of military stuff, you don't see like human, like I guess like humans, like mechs, because those moving parts, those ligament areas are very disadvantaged, because once one of those go down, almost the entire system goes down. And that's their biggest flaw, because they're animatronics and they got those ligaments. Once they go down, they're done. So they're pretty much out of commission from the moment you break one of those moving parts. So that is the A game with every single animatronic in the entire franchise. Once you break that, they are done. So yeah, let's get back to the video. So for FNAF 2, you got all the toy animatronics, and you got the old withered ones. You got Mangle and Balloon Boy and JJ, Shadow Bonnie. God damn, there's a lot of animatronics in the second one. You got the puppet. So let's go off with the puppet. Yeah, no, he's not doing nothing. Snap him in half. That boy's skinny as hell. Ain't nothing he can do. That boy a twig. Toy animatronics. I'm carrying Toy Chica. You know, I'm gonna just carry it on my chest. I'm gonna go do my business with her. You know, nobody else needs to know about that.
Oh shit, Kurt! This thing got me feeling kinky! I wanna fuck! I'm feeling freaky!
Toy Bonnie, he's practically the same, you know, as the first one. Weave, and, you know, then just, you know, knock him on his back. And honestly, you know what? If you wear the helmet around, that will allow you to get the drop on him and like not have to like run around the building and hide. That's, I don't know why I didn't think about that. That's gonna be for the FNAF 2 full building. Damn. I'm over here thinking of ideas for other videos, so I'm making another video. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. So for that, you can probably just wear the mask and walk around the building and get the drop on them. So at all times, you have the sneak advantage in the FNAF 2 building. Especially because 1, it's also dark in the building. 2, you got the mask. And 3, since we're fighting, oh, there's so much more we can do. So I think a really good one would be, you would beat the shit out of BB first. Beat his ass. Want to know why? I don't believe he's holding real balloons. Because the way they look now, they could be, you know, lore-wise actual balloons, but the way Scott makes his models, they all look like metallic. They don't look like regular balloons. So I don't think those are real balloons in his left hand. Maybe he gets the real balloons in his right hand, but in his left hands, those look metal. So I think the best thing to do is beat the dog shit out of him and grab the balloons, rip them out of his hand. Because again, animatronics, they do have to be taken apart. They can't fully be like porcelain or whatever. They have to be taken off at some point because they still have to get maintenance regardless. So no matter what, you can rip off the outer shell. And I'm sure the outer shell of that balloons that are in his hand have some heft to him. I feel like they kind of have to. So if you can take off that balloon and, you know, carry on the mask and sneak up behind the toy animatronics, the wit animatronics, and just ding, smack the shit out of them, I think you bing shilling, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's that much. Now, withered, the withered ones are kind of scary. Now, it's weird, right? Freddy in FNAF 1 doesn't look big, but the withered Freddy in FNAF 2 looks massive. Like, I'm saying, like, he's the only one to me that looks like he could be like 7 foot. He looks huge. I don't know if there's actual records of the heights out there. I probably should have done some research. It's just I just wanted to do this video. But he looks massive. And same thing goes to Bonnie, but I think Bonnie's a little bit shorter. Because if you look at Freddy when he's in the office, that boy looks gigantic. So when it comes to the withered animatronics, I'm a bit worried. So withered Chica, she's already broken. She already has her hands off. She's easy as hell to fight. Again, you push her back, she can't get up because she don't even got hands to try to realign herself. So even if you knocked her on her face, I don't believe she's gonna get up. And then from there, you can like grab again, have the balloons, you just beat the shit out of her till her exoskeleton starts breaking. You can start pulling off her outer shell and just start breaking the tendons of the what's it called, the endoskeleton. So I think withered Chica is probably the easiest one to fight next to Mangle, which I mean, in the game where Mangle gets taken apart by kids all the time. So Mangle is literally no issue. Mangle was never a problem. And then, oh, I forgot to mention, FNAF 1, Golden Freddy, he's a joke. You just rip him apart. But back to FNAF 2. I think Chica would be very easy, same with Mangle. Now, withered Bonnie and withered Freddy are probably the hardest ones to fight. Mainly just due to withered Bonnie, he probably got a strong ass punch. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I know this ain't the same game, but if you look at T-Jock, that boy's punch is menacing. Bro got a mean ass right hook. So I'm gonna apply that logic to here. Bro got a mean ass right hook. But I think he's the same way. As long as you can just bob and weave, bro, I think you're good. Again, knock him on the back, start breaking the tendons of the end of the endoskeleton, and you're good. You can even start beating the shit out of him with the flashlight you got to scan the middle of the FNAF 2 lobby. And even there's still a lot more around in FNAF 2. Like I think there's like a merry-go-round in there. If you could like somewhat get him around the merry-go-round, just like kick the shit out of him, especially you got like some steel-toe boots on you too, I think you good. And again, Freddy, he's the most menacing to me because he's so damn large. But because he's so damn large, I think we can use that to our advantage. So if it's like a 1v1, right? Let's say like he's chasing you around because, you know, he's still trying to kill you at some point. If you can like maybe slide yourself under the vents and like while he like looks down to try to get you, grab his arm and start pulling it and just keep pulling and pulling with all your strength and try to pull him into the vent and start breaking them piece by piece, I think that's a viable option. I don't think that's too far out there. And then you also got the prize corner. Damn, there's a lot of areas of FNAF 2 I forgot existed. There's so much shit you can use to beat the fuck out of these animatronics. That's why I don't believe it's hard to beat these motherfuckers. And then you got Foxy. I'm a little scared of Foxy. Because his jump scare, that boy jump. So he definitely, that man doesn't skip leg day. Because he jumps from the middle of that hallway into the room. So I think the best thing to do for him is, you know, regularly play FNAF 2. When he leaps, you need to move so he hits the back of the wall. And because of that, he's gonna get stunned for a little bit. And then from there, you get on his back and you start doing some like wrestling move, bro. You start doing the chokehold and start trying to rip his head off. I think that's the most viable thing. You know, there's so many things you can use in office, but you don't really need to use the things around the building that much because, again, the endoskeletons, they aren't, I guess, I don't want to say mobile, but they're not flexible. And because of that, you can use that to your advantage. And again, they're controlled by children. Therefore, children do not know how to fight. Me versus a million babies. Who's going to win in a fight? I don't know, but that's the point I'm trying to get across. They don't know how to fight. And I think you can use that to your advantage, as well as the endoskeleton not being bendable, not being flexible. Their reaction speed, your reaction speed is most likely faster than them. They happen to have stronger forces. They can possibly be faster. But I think for the most part, you are chilling for the most part. You are bullying. I don't think they have a chance to get... If they get the drop on you, then yeah, that's raps. But if you can get the drop on them, or even then, if you can just bob and weave your way out of there, I think you bullying. And again, I mentioned it before, under 5'5", fellas, I'm sorry. Y'all gotta find a different way. You guys can't overpower them, except maybe with a running drop kick. But you guys gotta use your ingenuity somewhere. You gotta use your height to your advantage somehow. But for the bigger fellas like me, and even taller than me, if you're taller than me, your advantages get better, bro. If you're 6'5", you're equal with them, oh yeah, nah, you gonna fuck them up, bro. You fucking them up. But yeah, that's about it for FNAF 1 and 2. I would try to get to sister location and a 4, but yeah, I think this one's long enough, so I'll make a part 2 if anybody's interested. But for the most part, I think we good for now. And again, everything applies from FNAF 1 all the way up to the other ones. I genuinely think it's just hit him in the back, make him fall. They do their own thing. So yeah, if you like this video, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. If you watched this far, I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And I'll see y'all in the next video.
Okay.
Deuce.
Coolest song ever. Yeah. Wow. 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 Wow.